Okay, hey you guys. I wanted to take a minute to talk to you a little bit about training plans. I spent the first 3 years that I trained for triathlons just kind of flying by the seat of my pants, waking up in the morning and saying, okay, what do I feel like today? I kind of feel like biking. So I'd go out and I'd bike however far I felt like it. The next day I'd wake up and say my legs were too sore, so I'd go for a swim. And that's kind of how it rolled the whole time. And while I had some success in that, I never really had great success until I decided to make a plan and really stick to it. So I wanted to talk to you guys about one resource that I found. You may have stumbled on this site before. It's pretty easy to find if you are Googling triathlons for the very first time. This is pretty much the first thing that you find. It's beginnertriathlete.com. They have a lot of great articles. They have training logs on here. You can create accounts. They have different accounts on here. I've never actually subscribed to the accounts. They have some paid versions that give you a little more access to a little more information. I've always just used their free resources, and I have been super happy, and I'm going to talk to you about a few of those today. If you go to their site, you are going to want to create an account. It's free. But as you are going through this process, at some point you are going to have to create an account for them to make you a training plan. So go ahead and register. If you haven't registered, if you have, I already have, I'm going to go ahead and log in. And once you log in, you click over here on training plans. Now, they have lots of stock training plans available. This is all of them. So you can see they have a lot of variety, some for Olympic distance, some for sprint distance, all kinds of things in here. Now, these are some of the paid plans are mixed in here also. You can drill these down to be a little more specific by choosing membership. I'm going to choose the free account. Distance, I'm going to choose sprint because I'm going to work off of our Wilmington race here in September. But if you're training for, say, White Lake in September as well, you could choose Olympic and see what they had there. Sport triathlon, you can choose duathlon, run, or cycle if that's all you're doing. But these are their free stock plans for sprint distance. You can see there's an original 13-week sprint distance, and you can click in here and you can see the complete plan. It breaks it down into the weeks. You can look at those individually if you like. You can fill a calendar and print this out. And it kind of chooses your days for you. It's very generic, but it's if you need a plan quick and you have some flexibility in your schedule, this might be the way to go for you. It gives you a volume graph so you can see how much volume you will be doing over that 13-week period and how much time you'll have to commit. So those are really great things. What I like to use, though, is their custom training plans. This is such a cool tool. What you do is you come in here and again make sure that you are logged in because at some point when you get over here to view plan you're going to need to do that. So just go through each tab here. The first one, what sport are you training for? Triathlon. When will it start? You want to make sure you start on a Sunday because it will correct you down the road if you don't. I'll just start this coming Sunday. Your race, I'm going to use the Wilmington race, which is September 21st. Are you maintaining or are you training for a race? We're training for a race. It is sprint distance, and it's 1,500 yards, 12 miles, and a 3.1 mile run. And then you can choose your recovery week. The typical school of thought for training on a plan is that you increase your volume by 10% each week, and then on your recovery week, you cut it back by about 30%. And that gives your body a chance to recover, and then you start building again. I like to do a 3-week build and a 4th week recovery. You might prefer to build for 2 weeks and recover on the 3rd week. Either one is fine. It's just a matter of how your body adapts to your training. So choose that accordingly. Once you fill that out, you go over to user data. Are you a new swimmer? No, I'm not. Your race pace estimates. For some reason, it remembers this. It won't remember anything else, but these are my very, very slow race times. Actually, last year, I will say, I always race faster in Wilmington. I did an 18:9. It was my personal record. So anyway, But I'm going to put in 16 because that's pretty typical for me. I'm intermediate. I've done this before. I usually finish middle to the back of the pack if you're advanced. This is the beauty of this thing. You know, it's very customizable to your level, your current level of fitness. Okay, once you get that filled out, you go to plan difficulty. They have some options already in here for you if you are a beginner and you know that you're pretty well balanced in all three disciplines. You could choose the balanced workouts, swim focus if you're weak in the swim, bike focus if you're weak in the bike. You'll see these first four are also time limited if you're on a time limited schedule or if you're in a maintenance schedule. If you're wanting to improve, again, if you're good in all three disciplines and you want to improve all three, you can click here on balanced or swim focused or bike focused, whatever your needs may be. If you want to excel and you're weak in the swim and the bike, you can click on swim and bike. Now, as you see, as you click on these, if you'll look over here, it changes how many workouts per week. So a swim bike focus to excel gives you 4 swims, 4 bikes, and 3 runs. That sounds like a lot, but what it does is it gives you some shorter workouts in there to give you more consistency, which really, really, truly is the mark of a successful plan, is when you can do shorter distances more consistently. It really starts to help you improve. I'm going to choose swim and run focus. Those are my 2-week disciplines. You see it's going to give me 4 swims, 3 bikes, and 4 runs. And I'm going to go up here to create schedule. And this is where it really gets fun. And this is where it really gets very custom, because you get to take all of these workouts that it's suggesting for you and place them on the day that works for you. So I'm going to give my triathlon training plan a name. I'm going to call it the Wilmington Tri 2013 race. You can name it whatever you want. And I'm going to start with what I know. I know that on Mondays and Wednesdays I'm going to swim at the Y, and I know on Saturday I'm going to swim at the Channel. I know that on Thursday, for whatever reason, I am usually motivated to do a long ride, so I'm going to put my long ride on Thursday. I know also on Sunday is a great ride day for me. I like to run on Friday when I'm running, and then I'll put my other run here since I'm not doing anything that day. And then for the other things, it's just a matter of filling in. You want to match up your shorts and your longs. So let's do a short run here. Let's do a medium run here. And let's do a short swim here. And let's do we'll do a short ride here. Okay. You can tweak that. You know, the more workouts you have, the more difficult that is, but tweak it till you get it just the way you want it, and then click here on View Plan. And here you have it. It has your calendar info, when you're starting, when your race is, your plan length, your recovery weeks, your target distances, your current paces, and how many workouts a week. And then it breaks it down for you by the weeks and the dates, which is really helpful, and tells you what you're doing when. Takes the decision making out of it. You can see plan instructions. This is really great information. It tells you a little bit about some strategies for your different types of workout. There's a volume graph. Tells you how you're going to be increasing your volume over that time period. And then you can also print it. You want to mess with your settings. You're going to want to print backgrounds, because if you don't print the background colors, then it'll take all of these little icons out, and they're the ones that tell you what you're doing. So if you don't print the background colors, then it'll say 1.7 miles, but it won't tell you what you're doing. So you want to print those. I remove the headers and footers because it's just extra information that you don't really need. Your dialog box will look different than this. I'm on a Mac, so y'all are probably looking at the screen cross-eyed saying, what kind of computer is she using? But just mess around with your print settings. I'm going to go ahead and print this to a preview so y'all can see it. And there you have it. Custom training plan for the Wilmington Tri in 2013. And you can print this out and hang it on your fridge. And there you have it. It's a great tool. Like I said, it takes the decision making out of it. It even sets up a taper week for you in the end. Tells you when your peak weeks, tells you your base weeks, your recovery weeks. Just a great tool. So I hope that's helpful to you. It's not the only thing that's out there. You can even create an Excel spreadsheet. I did that at one time. I created an Excel spreadsheet. Got a little geeky. I embraced my inner geek one day, but give it a try. I would encourage you over the next. We've got 15 weeks until Wilmington. I would encourage you, get a schedule and stick to it. There are some that are not as intense as this. It's very customizable, so give it a try, and I'd love to know if you did it. All right, y'all have a great day.